Good Wednesday morning. This is the Vermont Utility Outlook. This is valid the rest of today, Wednesday, through next Tuesday, September the 16th. Well, today we're already seeing heat indices arriving, starting to build in some areas, already 90-degree temperatures in some locations in the Middle Atlantic states and along coastal areas. This is out ahead of a cold front with a very hot and humid air mass. You can see 83 degrees already there. We're not even 11 o'clock yet. And it's going to be pretty much of a scorcher across a wide area and very humid conditions. This is going to support the cold front plowing into these conditions. A sub-alert or an alert will be issued later on today for showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be strong and maybe even marginally severe. This active weather this afternoon will blow by, and then we'll see a quieter period begin to work in, along with cooler conditions. This is going to negate any additional thunderstorm activity for the rest of this period going into next week. And seasonal temperatures should be the rule, slightly above normal in temperature returning later in the week, next week. But some pretty decent project weather should begin to develop by somewhere around mid to late morning on Friday. And this will last into the day on Saturday. And possibly, again, another area of higher pressure building in for the middle part of next week. This should affect us along about Tuesday. Now, we could use a good soaker across the area as we're very low on rainfall. It looks like southern Vermont counties of Bennington and Windham could cash in on that tomorrow night, Thursday night. And you're looking at 7-day total accumulated precipitation, the most across this particular area, better than 1.5 inches and better than 2 inches. And this is the area of Vermont that will probably see the most rainfall. Otherwise, we're looking at probably less than 1 inch across mainly central and northern areas. GFS ensemble model shows basically our afternoon and evening shower and thunderstorm activity here. This is the Thursday heavier rains, but that's probably going to be south and east of the Champlain Valley per the more skilled European model. We'll check the skills a little bit later on here. You see a little bit of a dry period here and then a little bit more of a busier weather pattern. Okay, we're looking at the accumulated precipitation totals, and just to run the model here, you can see that here's with the cold front that will be coming in this afternoon across portions of northern Vermont. You can see not really a whole lot of precipitation indicated here, at least by the European model. And as we continue with the frontal wave, the cold front will then set up a little further off to the south, and you can see some heavier bands of precip working in here. And this takes place during Thursday night. And looking at the 6 hourlies here, 6 hourly panels. So this is our cold front coming in later in the day today. You can see that across northern portions of Vermont. And this is the frontal wave that's going to be gathering. It's a much broader area of precipitation that'll be sliding north and east, but it's going to be too late for us, at least in central and northern Vermont. So the frontal boundary moves on out. We actually get some pretty nice weather for a good chunk of Thursday, and then the showers and no thunderstorms. Looks like thunderstorms will remain to the south of our region, but that'll be working in with a pretty good shot of heavier rains right across portions of southern Vermont and into central New Hampshire. A very close call. And then this will start to work on out during the morning hours. It'll set us up for what should be a pretty decent Friday, along with seasonable temperatures. That will last into Saturday as well. And then we have this upper level system. You can't really see the upper levels here, but a cutoff low is going to be developing in this area. We're going to be right on the edge with a batch of showers and no thunderstorms for us, as temperatures will be relatively seasonable, and that is cooler. But you can see that a little bit of shower activity makes it in here. It looks like along about late in the day on Sunday. Then by the time we get into Monday, just a few scattered showers, no big deal there. We get into Tuesday next week. That kind of pulls away, and high pressure that's centered across the southeast U.S., ridging into the middle Atlantic states, will then push into the region and should bring us a pretty decent shot of dry weather for the middle part of next week, along with seasonal temperatures for a change. And then a lot of that heat and humidity is going to try to roll back at us. However, it's not going to be as hot as what we've been seeing lately. These are the maximum temperatures over the course of the next 5 days, and you can see that a pretty good cool down taking place across the eastern half of the country, all except for the northeast United States, which will remain a little bit warmer than normal through this particular period, weighted out. And roughly about 3 days later, still the same thing here, and we're still running actually a little bit above seasonal norms. And for us, that'll be basically 75 into the low 80s. Temperature centered on Montpelier. You can see the warmest day today up near 90 degrees. Now, a lot of the computer models are coming into agreement. We'll have feel-like temperatures easily in the 90s. So the last really hot day, this could be the last warm day of the year. We'll see what happens. However, we're looking at a cool down for tonight. Tomorrow's highs running about 75. Very nice weather. And cooler, better sleeping weather. And you can see really not a whole lot of warming or cooling after we sort of settle into a more typical pattern. In the tropics, we have the leftovers of Grace. It's being sheared as we speak, and it may or may not make it even close to the Lesser Antilles. If it does, this is the track. Some models peel it off around the Bermuda High and try to work it off the coast. Tropics are not that intense. Well, we've had 8 named storms so far, and that's a little bit ahead of schedule. There's one easterly wave here, and of course we have Grace. Max sustained winds only running about 25 or 30 miles per hour. And then we have Tropical Depression number 8 that formed near Bermuda overnight, and this is forecast to take a track, and it could affect far eastern, southeastern Canada around Newfoundland. It could get close, but it looks like it's forecast to be just a little bit off the coast and track a little bit toward Europe before it falls apart and turns extratropical. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights Consulting.